news and notes to the coaches and players for America's team, let us go inside the Stars on 105.3 The Fan.
Still no news over there at the Ford Center of the Star in Frisco. Yesterday in Crosstalk, the KMC Masterpiece said they believe if nothing happens by Friday, at the very latest Sunday, based upon the Jason Garrett timeline when Jerry finally let him go, that Mike McCarthy will be returning as the head coach of this football team. Good morning, Metroplex, Hump Day edition. And a shout out to the 6 a.m. Club. I'm Shan Sharif alongside Ralph James. And now our Cowboys insider, Bobby Belt. What are you reading? What you drinking? What you reading? What you thinking?
It seems like it's leaning more towards Mike McCarthy being back. And so... Look,
Ryan, make sure we focus on his eyes today. I didn't know whether you didn't sleep yesterday. You didn't sleep. I know for damn sure after this segment you didn't sleep last night. But look at the defeat. Look at the absolute defeat. And you chose the wrong day to wear your hat backwards because it slows. Get that music. Get that zoom-in music that they play for different Hollywood shots. Right? That's perfect with Bobby Belt's defeat in his eyes.
So, each year when we preview things, each year when we preview things, we're talking about, when Carter Freeman in 6 months comes up to us and goes like, "Hey guys, I need your prediction for the season. Come here, tell me what you think the Cowboys record's going to be." When we get one of those, or when we're out there talking about like what we see out on the practice field at training camp, or it's week 3 and they're playing the Giants and we're analyzing the game, all of it ultimately will mean nothing in terms of trying to project out to the future, because I can already tell you how it's going to end. How it's going to end next year is Detroit or San Francisco or Green Bay or whoever holding you down by the throat and beating the snot out of you. And then Jerry standing up there and talking about how disappointed he is because he thought it was the best opportunity in front of them in the last 30 years. And it's all nonsense. If you really cared, this would have already been done. If you cared about it.
Now, why do you think he could be coming back?
David Moore doesn't write things for no reason in the Dallas Morning News. He doesn't. And
Brad Sham?
This is the last 3 paragraphs of David Moore's article. David Moore writes, before the game against Green Bay, the only pertinent conversation about McCarthy's future appeared to be whether or not the team would go deep enough to earn him an extension. That's off the table now. How does Jones shift from that starting point to seriously considering a coaching change? McCarthy has 1 year left on his contract. So does Prescott, until his contract is addressed. A strong argument can be made that it's in the Cowboys' best interest to give these two 1 more year together before moving on. That starts by letting McCarthy know he'll be back for a 5th season before the week is done. That's a very strong take to have if you don't already have an idea that that's coming.
If he would have just left that first part, like there's an argument to be made, I would have been like, okay, he's just writing on both sides and you know, compare, contrast, pros, cons. But then he wrote, and that starts by letting Mike know before the week ends.
Yeah, it's like, what
was that? What was that inclusion?
There's a couple of schools of thought. I mean, one is like
Ryan has the article up on the Fan Cam, Twitch, and YouTube. Oh,
he always does.
Can't wait to buy your drinks. Peyton, I got you too, probably.
Wow, what did he do?
He's been.
I did the good drops yesterday.
He did a very good show the other day.
Yeah, this is a
singular.
This is a good. Like what is Jerry letting
like
him sweat?
They them.
God, I wasn't there for that. Is Jerry letting him sweat? Is he just taking his time and doing his, letting his mood calm down?
I mean, they still got probably 10 days of production on the Netflix series, so they got to fill it with something.
I mean, like, and then
you guys have been tracking this. You should set up an account. You guys have been tracking this Netflix series. You and Machota writing about this.
I can't wait for the deep NFL Films voice, like trying to spin the ending of that series of, and then the Cowboys went out there and just embarrassed themselves.
No,
sorry,
they
Chop.
scored 32 points.
Sorry, Chop. Go ahead.
That's what it's going to be. So like, is he letting him sweat? Is he, at what point does he owe his own organization and Mike, for that matter, an answer? Like, how long do you let Mike in limbo for?
Because the word is he hasn't spoken to Mike.
Right. Like that's a weird
Yeah, the David Moore article says they're scheduled to speak Thursday or Friday, that they have not talked yet.
Yeah, that's a very odd thing to do. Like, there is they don't owe Mike necessarily anything, but, you do. It also at some point as a manager, like if you're going to move on from him, let them know early that you're going to move on from him.
Well, they're thinking. I think they have to be thinking.
They're thinking, and I like that. I appreciate that. I don't want like some manager to come out here or owner to come out here, swinging from his hips left and right, shooting from the hips or anything like that. Just be measured about it. I'm cool with that. But also have conversation before Thursday, too.
I don't care how long they don't speak to him after what happened. And I'm just gonna give you my honest reaction. Like, my physical, visceral reaction was disappointment because I want Bill Belichick. I want Bill Belichick here, or I want a hard ass. This team, if you write down the different things that the Dallas Cowboys need, and we should do this as an exercise later on, just going around the room, but the things that are on my list without hesitation are that's coming up later. I don't want to set Bobby off this early. I don't want to get the zoom in shot again on the fake.
We're already there.
But toughness, details, intelligence, and not being completely terrified and S in your pants when the postseason starts. And I know Belichick has his downsides. Harbaugh fine too. I have to be a little bit inspired to go into next season. That's my biggest worry right now, selfishly, as a radio person. I have to have a different storyline. I have to have a different angle. Hope is such an important word. My father told me this as I was growing up. He's like, watch these Jesse Jackson speeches talking about HOPE. And if they bring Mike back, I don't have any new hope for the offseason, for training camp, and for next year until we get to playoff game 1. And why would you think anything would be any different? So this possibility disappoints me right now.
What's Latin for run it back? That's what they need to throw on their stupid shirts next year.
Carpe repeat?
Sure, whatever that may be. This is it. When you see what happens on that football field, which is, to me, you guys may disagree, to me, that is the most embarrassing performance that football team has put on a field in 20 years that I can recall. Given the stakes, given the expectations and everything else, that's just flat embarrassing. It may not be the most painful, but it's the most inexcusable performance they've put on the football field. And for you to see that with questions already existing about his job, and then you still go, oh, okay, let's do it again, it feels like negligence.
What would this tell you about Jerry if he brought him back? Would this make you give some props to Mike Bassick, who always for years have sat in here and said, Jerry doesn't care. He wouldn't. This whole write-a-check thing is a bunch of BS. He's totally fine with complacency. 10, 11 wins. He's good with the NFC East Championship. How have you reacted to when Mike always says that, and how would this make you feel towards those opinions?
There's too many people close to the team that when you, and you know, we obviously get our own view of it publicly, but there are too many people who talk about privately. Like, it does gnaw at him. It does make him feel better. I just think the evaluation process is broken. The process of evaluating why your team failed is just broken.
Of course it is.
And so that, like, I don't think it's, I just think it's, I don't want to use the word that's popped in my head, but basically I just don't think that they have, I just think that Jerry's completely misevaluating the cause of their symptoms.
You know, people, the Trucker.com text line is
and they can't be mad about it, by the way. They have not earned the right to be angry about any of the criticism that's levied against Mike last Friday, not wanting to talk about their toughness. You don't get to have those visceral reactions anymore. Jerry doesn't get to be super angry and worked up when people say, you guys fell short and you're running it back on mediocrity again. Because it's true until they prove otherwise.
Here's some of the stuff coming on the Trucker.com text line. They need to go to Wichita Falls for training camp. They need oppressive heat. You need to get a hard ass in here.
I agree.
Jimmy was a hard ass. There's plenty of hard asses that fail.
Yeah.
The Patriots used to train and still train in a very calm 78 to 85 degrees. Didn't hurt them. Didn't hurt them when they had Tom Brady. Where do the Chiefs train?
It's hot. I went there once.
It didn't work when they had Alex Smith. It works when they got Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, I'm not talking about going to a sauna. I'm just talking about the stupid stuff we see on Sundays with the penalties and getting coached up and, little details. I know that Bill Belichick would fix all that stuff.
I assume he would too.
Would he maybe fight with CeeDee Lamb? Maybe. Yeah. Would he fight with Will McClay?
You might be trading one problem for another.
You might be.
You might fix the penalties. You might lose some of the locker room or whatever it may be.
Yeah, absolutely. You might.
But
I know
that's where leadership would come into play. That would hopefully fix that. Who knows?
53 people quit on Sunday. I'm not worried about locker room. So it can't get worse.
They quit at some point in that game.
Yeah, generally it was. I think it was when old Brandon Aubrey's foot connected with the ball with 15 minutes left in the first quarter.
Kyle Shan would say mid-second quarter.
What was that?
Okay, so you would have to. You honestly think that they were checked out mentally before the game started?
I don't know how you want to describe it. Do you want to either describe it as completely unprepared, which falls on the coaching staff, completely terrified, which falls on the coaching staff, or just quit? It's one of the three.
Okay. Here's what happened.
I don't know if
the first drive by Green Bay.
It became quit by the end for sure.
Yes, but I agree with you.
Oh, hang on. It was 6 minutes ago. They scored they made it a 2-possession game. It could have been the end. But the first drive happens. All right, and that was just a great drive by Green Bay. Give Green Bay the credit on that one. And Dan Quinn the blame on some of that for soft coverage. They were just like, we're not going to make mistakes. They're not going to beat us over the top. We're going to trust that Jordan Love is not going to be able to, patiently nickel and dime us, yada, yada, yada. Then you get the CD drop on 3rd and 8. And then they punt, and then 2 plays later, the interception. That is when I think everything kind of clicked that, oh boy, here we go again. It's 14-0.
Yeah, you're never going to convince me they quit at kickoff. I think the Eagles were getting ready. They were really close at kickoff to quitting. I think they were out coached and they were terrified. I don't know if I can blame the coaches for the players being terrified. But all that stuff is semantics. It's just really uninspiring, and it's a little sports depressing if this happens, because then you got to worry about Jerry's thought process. And have you ever said to yourself, man, if they did that in that situation, what else are they doing that we don't know about? Like, if Jerry Jones is thinking about this like that, what other decisions does he make that stops this organization from thriving and getting to an NFC Championship game? That's what's scary to me. Damian Woody went off on ESPN about Mike McCarthy possibly coming back.
I'm damn sure getting ready to coach. I'm damn sure getting ready to coach. I don't want to hear a damn thing. Listen, I don't want to hear about no 12-5 wins. That's not it when it comes to the Cowboys. Everything when it comes to the Cowboys is about the postseason. We've been talking about it year after year after year. It's the postseason. What are you going to do in nut crunching time? When everything's on the line, what are you going to do? And yesterday, we saw Matt LaFleur with the youngest team in the league in Green Bay go into Jerry's world, where they've been the most dominant team at home of any ball club in the National Football League and absolutely dominate them. And are we expect to run that back? That would be crazy. Guess what? Detroit's not going anywhere. Green Bay's not going anywhere. San Francisco's not going anywhere. I could go on and on. These teams are going to get better in the conference. We just said the Dallas Cowboys, this was their best opportunity in like a quarter of a century to get to the Super Bowl, and they got their ass handed to them yesterday, and we're supposed to run it back? Jerry Jones said it himself. He doesn't have much time left, okay? He doesn't have much time left. Running it back would be just stupid. It would be totally stupid to run it back.
I agree.
Carpe repartee is what the trucker to gum text is saying is repeat. I don't know if that's true or not.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know how you can see 53 when 53 people collectively give you the same, whatever it is. Scared, unprepared, whatever. When 53 people collectively give you the same output, the same energy, that's coaching.